Hello students, it's Mr. Jepson here from School in the Park. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a comic book. So if you're choosing the comic book option, it's pretty much the same as creating a book, except you're just going to create a comic template instead, and then add content to your comic. So it'll be a pretty quick video, just logging into Book Creator and showing you what to do. And if you want more information about how to use Book Creator, there's the previous tutorial, the longer one, that you can watch that has all the same information pretty much. So here I am on bookcreator.com. This is the landing page, and I'm going to go up here and sign in. So not sign up, I already have an account, so I'm going to sign into Book Creator, and you also have an account with your school email. So the sign in page, you want to sign in with this yellow page. For me, I'm going to switch to teacher, and I'm going to sign in with Google. So when you sign in with Google, it should show you your student ID, your district email account at student.sandy.net. Okay, so now I've logged into Book Creator. I'm in a library. I'm in the One Book Challenge library. If you're not in that library, go over to these three lines over here, the waffle menu, and then just look for that library. If you don't see it, that means you need to join the library. So go to join, and then the code will be on the School in the Park website on the option A webpage. So there'll be a code for you to log in. If you can't find it, just ask your teacher, and I'll pass it on to them. So once you get the once you log into the library, you're going to find One Book Challenge and open that. Once you're in, you'll see this ghost book, and there may be some other books from other students. And you're going to go up here and you're going to go to New Book. Now you see there's a few different options. If you're just creating a book and you don't want a comic, these are the three options, and you also have templates here. But if you want to create a comic, you have these three different options. So the comic version, and I would probably, even though comics traditionally have this ratio 2 to 3, I'd probably recommend either the square or the landscape, just because of the shape of the computer screen. Most people are going to be reading your comic on a computer. So for this one, I'm going to choose landscape. So right now the page looks just blank. It looks the same as the book template. If you go to the other page, it's the same too. But what do you want to do? So this is a cover, so you don't necessarily want to have panels for your cover. You want to have just like a bold image, text, and the author's name and the illustrator's name, or the comic artist's name, I should say. But on the other pages, so we have the inside cover again. I still want you to follow that same format where you're have the inside cover is just some artwork, but you haven't started your story yet. And your third page would be your title page. So you would start with pretty much the same information that you're putting on your cover. You would have the title of your book, you would have the author and illustrator's name, and then you would have maybe a publishing company that you've made up. So you can just make up your own publishing company and add that information, but you're going to have, and some artwork to it, but you're going to have that criteria for your title page. It'll be the same as your cover. So on the fourth page, this is where we want to start our story. And we want to start adding some panels. So I'm going to go up here to the plus icon, and then notice that this is slightly different than the book. You have all the same features, but then just down below, you have these different assets. So the first one is a square with some squares in it. That represents the panels. The next one is a speech bubble panel. The third one is a thought bubble panel. And the third one is a little POW as another kind of comic element that can represent actions and sound effects. So the first one I'm going to click on is the panels, and you can see you've got a variety of different comic layouts. So thinking about your story, you might start with something really strong and bold, or a couple panel one. You have all these different options to choose from. And you get more stylized ones. This one's kind of cool. It just really depends on your story. So let's try something pretty simple to start with. I'm going to choose this one. Now you notice these are already locked. You can, I think, unlock them if you go to you select it and go to the eye. You can click here to unlock it, and that means you could, if you want to, just remove that. I want to keep it there though. But for the most part, they're locked so that you can put artwork over it and move things around without selecting these boxes and moving your template. So this is basically a background template. So I'm going to click that again, go to the eye, and I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. So all they really did was just add some rectangles and lock them on. Now I want to put something like an image in here, and you see if I select it, there's a plus icon. So I'm going to go to the plus from here, and I'm going to add an image here. Now, for you guys, you're probably going to be drawing your own comic art and then uploading it. So you're probably going to choose to upload from your computer once you've scanned it in. And if you need help scanning it in, contact your teacher and let them know, and I'll try and help you as well. We can help you scan things in or take photos. You could always just hold it up in front of your camera and take a photo on your device. So I'm going to go ahead and just search for something now. I'll search for comic dog. And you can see a variety of things popped up. I might just go for this one. Okay. So you see what happened was the image that I chose was actually a much larger rectangle, and when I added it to this frame, it cut off the edges. So it just showed what's in the center, what fits in this frame. Now, when I select it, I have a little cursor here that you can see the entire rectangle does go beyond that. It's basically cropped it into this dark box here. But if I select that, I can move it around however I want it, or I could resize it so it fits into that box. What I might do is put him right here and shrink him down a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add either a speech bubble or a thought bubble. So now I've moved him around, but I want to add my thought bubble. And notice that when I click on this one, the plus icon is there, but this one is no longer that because I already added an image. So when you draw your comic art, make sure you're leaving space, a little bit of white space, where you can add a speech bubble for your text. Because for this, you're not going to have lines like in a book, just text lines. You're going to be putting your text into speech bubbles. So when you want to add a speech bubble, go up here to the plus icon and go down to the bottom where it has this panel here that looks like a little speech bubble. Because it's a dog though and you can't talk, I'm actually going to choose the thought bubble. So here's my speech bubble. I'm just going to shrink it down or try and reorder it a bit. I think that's probably pretty good. Now I need to add some text, and it's already there, so I can just double click and just type my text in. Okay, so really quickly I was able to add an image into one of these frames by clicking on the plus icon. I searched for an image on the internet, or you could upload your own hand-drawn artwork. And then I positioned it how I wanted to. I resized it within the frame. It cropped out the edges, so I didn't have to worry about it. And then to add text, I added a thought bubble with the plus icon down here. It chose thought bubble, and then I just double-clicked on that and added the text. So I'll do it one more time, and this time I'm going to again add another image, and maybe my dog can smell some food or something nearby, so I'll do cartoon food, and choose one of these things. I think I'll just go with the burger. Takes a little bit of time to load, and there we go. So the burger's too big. I want to shrink it down a bit, so I'm going to click on this icon right here. It's the move icon, and I'm going to shrink it down off the corner. And what I want to do for this effect is I want my burger to smell. So I want my dog to smell it. So I'm going to use some kind of visual to represent the smell of the burger. To do that, notice again that plus icon is gone because I already added a background image. I'm just going to go over here and add an image on top of it, just like I did with the thought bubble. Not really sure how to do this one. I'm going to cartoon smell. That little kind of whiff thing coming out of the cat box, that's kind of what I'm looking for, but I'm not sure. Try scent. No. I'll just try wavy lines. Still not really getting what I want. I guess for this, I would probably just do some hand-drawn artwork and upload it. But I think maybe this will work. We'll try it. Okay. So I was hoping that it would just be the colored lines and I could use that. But what happened was it's got the white box background, so that's not really going to work. So alternatively, because I can't find an image to represent the smell, I'm just going to go over here to the plus icon and I'm going to choose the pen. Now I have all these different options, so I'm in pen editing mode. I can choose the color first of all. So I think I want like a kind of not sure what color I should go with. Maybe kind of burgery smell color, like this nugget. Okay. And I'm going to choose the stroke, so the different types of pens. So maybe for this, I want it to be kind of wispy. So I'll either go with the highlighter or the paintbrush. And I think I just want to do a couple like that. Okay. So I'm drawing on top of the entire, I'm adding a label on top. So I think I'll just do like a little one of those. Just to give the reader the impression that that's putting out a smell. Pretty happy with that, that'll do. Now it's gonna load it. So now I can see the burger has a smell. So that's one way you can do it. For my third frame, I actually want this same dog to come back. So I'm gonna go add icon. I think it was cartoon dog. There he is. Now it's going to add it as like a background in my frame. Same thing, I want to resize this. I want to make it real big because I want to do a close-up that smell is getting to my dog. Something like that. And then again, I'm going to go back to the plus icon, go to the pen tool, and it looks like I have to configure it. So it was a nugget color, it was a paintbrush, and it was that size. Okay. Now I'm going to draw these wavy lines kind of coming over and into his nose. Okay, maybe not that last one, maybe just those, to kind of show that there's this smell. Didn't really like how that worked out either. So something like that. I'm not totally happy with that, but you get the idea that the burger's putting out a smell. Here's the dog, he's getting hungry. There's the burger, it smells, and then here's the dog again, noticing the smell. I wish I could make his eyes turn the other way. So I'll try one more slide or frame. I'll add that same image again. And this is what it might be easier for you guys to just hand draw this stuff and then put it into your book. So I'll choose this guy, add him, and then use the move tool to resize him. Okay, something like that. And now I actually want to change his eyes. So I'm going to have to be really clever here because I'm dealing with layers. So that's a background image. What I want to do is I want to put something white over the pupils, and so I can redraw the pupil so he's looking now towards the burger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to, I could do images. I could just look for a white circle, maybe. But what I would need is a white circle with a transparent background for that to work, and I'm not seeing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the pen tool again, and I'm going to choose white to match the background, or to match his eye color. And I'm going to choose the solid one this time, and maybe something a little bit bigger. And you can see that's almost perfect. So I'm just going to draw over that eye, kind of erase the pupil of his eye, and then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to choose black, and it's about the same size. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to make him look that way. Okay. There we go. So now my story is, there's a dog hanging out with a bone. There's no meat on the bone. He's starting to feel hungry. There's a burger nearby. It's really smelly. The smell gets to him and he looks that way. I guess I gotta draw in my smell again. Just quickly do that. So again, choose the color I wanted, and then it was the paintbrush, and then I'll do something like that. So it's got his attention, and then I want to add a little bit of text. So no speech bubble for this, just a little bit of a text to represent his reaction. And you can see the textiles are a little different. Maybe before we do that, we'll check out POW and see what comes up. Yeah, lots of action things, stickers it's called. So I'll just go to the text thing, and I want not a caption, but just maybe one of these. And I actually just want an exclamation point. See how that looks. So it's added it like that. So something like that. I can resize it, or maybe I can't. Maybe I have to go to select it and go here to resize it. So I want it a little bit bigger. So basically that signifies that he's noticed the smell and he's realized that it's in that direction. And I can even overlay it over the frame here just to kind of add a little style to it. Okay, so for the final frame, I don't even have an idea for the final frame. I guess I'll just leave it at that you get the idea. But I will show you these other text elements before I wrap this up. So if I go to add, go down here, there was a speech bubble, thought bubble, and POW. If I go to POW, I had all these different kind of cool stickers. So maybe I could do zoom. So the last thing is that he noticed the burger and he like zoomed over there, and you kind of get that idea. I could add more to this image to make it obvious what's happening, but you know, this is just an example for this video, and you guys are going to have your own original ideas and your own original artwork. But I do want to show you that even if you're not a good artist, you haven't really practiced that skill, so doing hand drawings, you can still create images out of just what's available on Book Creator, what's available on the internet. You can download images to your computer if you can't find them through Book Creator, but you can kind of piece things together and just kind of be really creative. And I think that's what I like about Book Creators. It gives you opportunity to be really creative and just kind of have fun. And even though you can't do anything you want, it gives you enough options to kind of play around and make something happen. So have fun with that. The only other thing I wanted to show you was just when you go to text, you have these kind of styled text. So you have the regular one, you have more of a text that really pops, a more kind of professional title that you might see on comic book, and then caption comes in a box. So if you click on that, let's call this dog Toby was spending the afternoon sleeping when suddenly ... something like that. Now I have, just like in a comic book, I have this little frame that can pop over other frames, and I can still shrink that down if that's too big. It doesn't get much smaller. I don't want to be too small. And then bring that frame in, because it does show the outline for this box. So something like that. I could put it somewhere else, or I can drag it down so it's more of a box like that, and then put that here. And what I would have wanted to do is change the order here. So I want this box to be under my speech bubble. So I'm going to select the speech bubble. I'm going to go over to the eye icon for inspector, and I'm going to click on front, and that's going to move that above. So there's my little story example. Toby was spending the afternoon sleeping when suddenly, and then you cut to the visuals, and you kind of see that he's just hanging out with his bone. He's like, I'm starting to feel hungry. The next frame is a burger with lots of smells coming out of it. Then he notices the smell, he realizes what's happening, and zoom, he went to go get it. So there's my quick little book creator example. If you want to create another page to continue the story, go over here. You start with a blank page again. Just go up to the plus icon, go down here to the panels, and you have all these different cool panels to pick from. I like this one a lot. This is really cool. And then again, when you select it, you're going to have that plus icon. If you don't want a frame there, if you don't want it locked, you know how to do it. You just select it, unlock it, and then you can move it or delete it. Like that. So here I might put some text, or I might do a different background image. It looks like if I don't have anything selected on the frame, I can go to the eye icon, and now I have all these cool different comic elements and different borders and things for the background. So let me just quickly show you what happens if I select one of those. So that's exactly what's going to happen. The background changes, but these boxes remain white for me to add content to. If I did that over here with Toby, so without anything selected, I can choose the eye icon, and then I can choose a background color for my comic, and that makes it really pop. Looks really professional. Everything's come together quite nicely for that. And that's just, you can just have lots of fun with that and be really creative. So I hope that helps you guys. If you get stuck, if you have problems, don't forget to tell your teacher so they can pass on the information to me, and I can try and help you. Otherwise, you can try and figure it out, ask a friend. You can try looking for a tutorial about Book Creator online. But just keep in communication, give us your feedback so that we can help you as you're trying to make these books, and have lots of fun.